lot of times people ask us like, what are you guys doing? Like, how are you making it work? Like, you guys are your goals, right? Like, you are the couple's goals. Like, I want, like,
Yeah.
what do you got? Like, what are you doing that we're not doing? And I think it's like, yeah, like like we are willing to go there. We're willing to do it. And trust that we're gonna come out on the other side, like,
Yes.
better, honestly.
Yes.
I'm Rachel, and you're listening to the Owning Your Sexual Self podcast. Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back for another episode. I have a special guest with me today.
Hello.
Yeah, full disclosure, we are recording this podcast at
Very late.
oh man, we almost made it for 11:11.
Almost.
11:12 p.m. on June 6th, the night before we are leaving for our Florida vacation.
Yeah.
We have an early flight tomorrow morning. Not super early, but
No.
yeah. And I was like, hey, you think what are the chances we can get a podcast in for Monday? Because Monday is when the podcast launches, and then Monday is our actual anniversary.
Yes.
Yay! So we are celebrating 7 years.
7 years.
How many total together? 12,
Thir
12, 13, 13?
thir 12.
2000, what did we get together?
13.
2013.
Yeah, that makes it 12.
Yeah, you're the math guy, not me.
12
Yeah,
years.
12 years.
12
12
years.
years together, 7 years married. So
Yep.
we've so we've technically already passed over like the 7 year-ish,
Oh,
like what
yeah.
we're talking about today.
7 year itch.
Yeah,
I'm itching right now.
that would actually, wait, did we get married in our seventh year together?
Yes.
13, 14,
Yeah,
15,
because we got
16,
married
17,
in 18.
18. That would have been 5 years together.
Oh, no, no. Yeah, yeah. You're
20
right.
2020 would have been
Yeah.
our total 7 year dating anniversary. Anyways, that's interesting because 2020 was a big year for us. 2020 was the year we moved into this house.
Yes, it was.
That was
Yeah.
like, yeah, COVID year, like,
Yeah.
yeah, just a lot of things.
Yeah.
Um, anyways, we thought, for anniversary episode, Danny, you haven't been on the podcast in a while.
It's been a long time.
How's it feel to be
It
back?
feels great. Under the circumstances,
Yeah.
it's a little, but I
Yeah.
feel good.
We also
It's
may or may not have a few substances in us at the time of this recording. You golfed literally all day
all day
today.
long,
I
all day long.
may have dabbled in some things while I was packing for the trip. It's fine. But anyway, so yeah, let's like again, it's been a while, and for people that are just kind of joining the show, they might not have listened to episode
No,
one of like how we met and all that. So I think fun like sharing how we met when like how things were when we got married. It feels like a past life at
it
this
does.
point.
It absolutely does.
Yeah, but we've known each other for a long time. I
Hmm.
just feel like our story is so cute. We've known each other for a really long time since we were in like
Probably,
middle school
yeah,
days. And
10, 11, 12,
yeah,
like around that age time.
we grew up in the same city. So our
Hmm.
city had, I'll share kind of like my version. Our city had like sports. And I remember it was like one summer and I remember Danny, like, oh, he would always drive his bike past where we would have softball practice at and like softball games and stuff. And I always like, I just knew who he was, I guess, somehow. And he was also a grade younger than me. And so I remember seeing him and I literally told people that that was my boyfriend. Like, friends that didn't know him or who he was or anything. Like, I was like, yeah, this is my boyfriend, Danny. Like, what a fucking creep. And yeah, well, this is like middle school time. And also this is like middle school time. So it was like you were one of many, at the time. I had many
Mm-hmm.
boyfriends this summer.
Hmm.
They just didn't know it.
Hmm.
And yeah, so then I mean, yeah, like short version of that, we had gone to middle school together, we went to high school
Hmm.
together. I also remember in our high school years, like
She
being on
never
the
talked to
same,
me.
yeah, we didn't talk, but we were on
Never
the
talked to
same
me.
bus. I feel like we sat next to each other on like a bus, on like bus
Maybe,
once, like coming home from a sporting event, or
maybe.
like talked, like I sat in front of you and you sat behind me, because I had always had a crush on him. So much so that I wrote in his yearbook, I've always had a crush on you, and
No,
left my phone number. Never got a call.
never
Sad.
did.
Sad. Yeah, I was a year older than Danny growing up. Okay, I'm still a year older, but yeah, I was a grade older.
Yeah.
And like me, high school me was like too cool. Like I was
Oh
too
yeah.
cool to date anybody younger than me. So like I would never had admitted, until literally I was graduating, like, hey, I was kind of into you. But sorry, I had like a douchebag
It's okay.
boyfriend like the whole time I was in
No,
high school.
it's all good.
Serial monogamous dater here. Yeah.
Not a problem.
What
Yeah.
do you remember from our early
Well,
young
not the
days?
creepiness that, you have just brought out. No, but I did. I always was riding my bike around the ball field, like the baseball, softball fields, because my sister, you're younger than me, always played, and she always played with like people like in my grade or older. So I always kind of had always hung out. My dad was the coach half the time. So it was just something that I was always just doing. I was always on my bike. I was always around, just hanging out.
Mm.
And yeah, like I always thought you were cute. And then the whole like you creepily telling everybody I was your boyfriend, didn't know about that.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I
So,
think I've heard it, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's just always such a funny thing to hear again. But then yeah, like throughout the middle school, high school years, you were always too cool, way too cool to talk to me. I was kind of a nerd anyway, so I hung out with my people.
Thank you for admitting that.
Yeah, okay. And then of course I see that on the yearbook when you sign my yearbook, and I'm just like, get out of here.
No, we still have the yearbook.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
still
still
got it. I
got the
can pull it
yearbook.
out. I
Yeah,
can pull it
we
out.
could. It could be the cover photo of this podcast episode.
But yeah, and then after high school, it was we didn't talk at all.
Mm-mm.
And then it was uh it was a Facebook message
Mm-hmm.
that you threw at me.
No, no, sir.
Was it? Are you sure?
Okay, we had both put going on the Faster Horses Festival,
Oh, that's
like the
that's right.
public event of Faster Horses, which is a country festival here in Michigan.
Mhm.
And you reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I see you're going to
Yeah.
Faster Horses."
Even though I've never been.
Neither had I.
Yeah.
I'd also never been. But I was like, I was newly single, and I was like,
Uh,
I'm fucking going to this shit.
yeah.
And neither of us did.
No.
So it's fine. We found each other instead.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kenny Chesney. And yeah, yeah, that was it. It was
Yeah.
like, and your classic line was like, hey, do you want to get together for a drink or
Hmm.
three?
Or three. Because at the time, that's really all I did.
Life. Yeah,
That was my life. That was,
yes.
yeah, like early bar hopping and that's what I was. That was my early 20s.
Yeah.
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 And I swooped you and got you
Yeah,
good.
yeah, you did. And it took that was like, I think I'm a fucking weirdo and I remember these things, but like that was like in February
Yeah.
and we had tried for like months
Yeah.
to meet up. And
One even
then,
got to like St. Patrick's Day.
yeah, we
Nope.
really tried. It
We
was
still
so close
couldn't.
on St. Patrick's Day.
Yep, we still didn't get to meet up. And then you were hosting a party
Yeah.
and you had invited me and I said would it be okay if I brought some friends? And then I then brought 3 carloads of people.
Yeah, just a couple friends. No big deal.
But luckily it was all people that we all went to school with, at least for the most part. So
Yeah.
it was kind of one of those things where we just hung out and talked, and it was actually from there on out. I don't think we didn't not talk.
I think, yeah, it was like we shared our first kiss that night,
Hmm.
and it was like, yeah, honestly, the rest is history. Here we are, 12 years later,
Yes,
celebrating 7 years of marriage,
absolutely.
couple dogs later,
Couple dogs later.
zero kids later. But yeah, okay, so we got engaged. We got engaged at home. I don't know if we've ever like told our marriage story. We got engaged at home in our living room.
Mhm.
We don't need to go in the backstory of that. That wasn't how it was planned, but it was the most perfect situation. It was just great.
Yeah.
Our dogs got to be there and witness that. We got to be in our little love bubble, just the two of us. And we got married. Well, we were engaged like a year and a half, so I feel like normal
Yeah.
time. Um, and our wedding day was still like I would say like one of the best days of
Oh,
my life. Like just
still have
full
people talking about it.
party. Yeah, it was definitely one to remember. It was June 9th, as we said. It was freezing fucking cold. It had
It's a
rained
little,
all
yeah.
day up until the point that we were about to walk down the aisle, and then we had
Mhm.
sun for the ceremony, but we got married on the water, and it
Yeah.
was literally so windy and like just drizzly most of the evening. And but again, luckily, like I don't think there was barely any people there that weren't on the dance floor the whole entire time with us. And
Yeah.
yeah, so that kept us warm.
Yeah,
Just
that was
fist bumping
such
and
a
ass shaking and all of it.
yeah, that was it was good. Such a good mixture of people that
Hmm.
literally were just there to have a good time with us and just take it all in with us. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, couldn't have asked for a better group to
Yeah.
be around.
I'm thinking of like some funny moments from our wedding. So we had during the reception, we had a table break.
Yep.
One of the
Twice.
very front tables broke. Like the legs, I don't know what happened. So yeah, twice.
Mm-hmm.
The tent was leaking.
Yeah.
So they had to put buckets out to get, to like catch the water.
Yeah.
Instead of wedding cake, we chose to have froyo, frozen yogurt, for
Yep.
those that aren't froyo connoisseurs. And it again freezing cold. So like nobody barely ate froyo because it was too cold.
Yeah.
Um yeah, I think my favorite, somebody gave us this advice, but my favorite moment from our wedding was when we like walked away. Like somebody gave us the tip of like walk away at some point in the night and like look out to
Mm-hmm.
your guests and like just take it all in.
Yeah, we walked to the like the pergola where we got
Yeah.
married
Yeah. And we
because
just
it was kind of in view of everything.
it was, yeah. It was nice. And like, yeah, we shared our moment there and just kind of like reflected and um just got to see everybody that was there like celebrating with us and
Yeah.
happy for us and everything. So, yeah, it was sweet. It was a good day.
It was a great day.
It's a good day. I know.
Hmm.
I love you.
I love you too.
And okay, so we're talking about, we were trying to think of a theme for the episode, and there's this thing known as a 7-year itch. So I thought that would be a good topic for us to go through. Um,
Ooh.
but I know what a
What a downer.
truly what a downer. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, like in 7 years, like shit's gonna hit the fan. And while that might be true, like we've had our collection of shit hit the fan, in the last several years, I would say, but um. I pulled a definition for you because I wanted to like really truly explain this. So the 7-year itch, let me read from my notes here. The 7-year itch is a psychological phenomenon where couples may experience a decline in satisfaction, intimacy, or connection around the seventh year of marriage or long-term partnership. It's often seen as the crossroads where routine, unmet needs, life stressors, or unresolved issues start to surface in a way. Danny's yawning, right? He's
All
like, yeah,
right.
this is like such bullshit.
Yes.
But these issues start to surface in a way that we can make the relationship feel stagnant or strained. So this is not a clinical diagnosis, but the phrase has become just like a cultural shorthand for the natural ebb and flow of long-term relationships, so this is then saying like this is the point to where the honeymoon phase has worn off.
Mm.
Life responsibilities are get heavy, like couples are either growing apart or they're making the conscious effort to continue to grow closer. So the good news is like the 7-year itch is inevitable, like with intentionally communicating and having play and emotional honesty. Many couples are finding that this is a time to reignite their connection. And so that's what we're kind of talking about, like sharing really for us, like how we have avoided the 7-year itch. Um, and I wanted to speak to like this honeymoon phase part that it talked about in here because the honeymoon phase is actually a real thing. So we know in new relationships, maybe you don't know, in new relationships, the human body literally produces hormones that it's like shiny new thing syndrome. So your body naturally produces this hormone because it's something new, it's something exciting that's in front of you. So naturally over time, that same, like when couples say like, oh, they've lost the spark, that is actually natural and normal for that to happen. So relationships, I don't know at what point of anybody's life somebody came along and told you like, hey, this shit's really easy. Like relationships are gonna be a cakewalk. You're never gonna have arguments. You're never gonna have disagreements. Like whoever tried to like paint this fairy tale for us, they did it
Yeah.
wrong. They were wrong. Um, and so again, and so that honeymoon phase, it's also a very large window of when it's said that this hormone can stop producing for people. So it's anywhere from like 2 months to 2 years. That's a large gap. So I would say those 7 years. So people have major life events every 6 months, pretty much. So if you're thinking about people like you're moving, you're having kids, you're starting a new job, death in the family, right? Like constantly there's new things that are happening, like new curveballs. And I think just as humans, we are continuously like growing, evolving, adapting, all of these things. So I think that's why it's so important that when people are choosing to be in a relationship, you're marrying the person for where they are in that moment. You're not marrying for them as the version that you hope that they become because they might not become that version. They might, but I think it's so important that when you're in this early relationship part, like you truly love that person for exactly who they are right then and there.
Absolutely.
Um, and we've talked about that like kind of earlier actually this year, like going through our book and stuff together.
Yeah.
Like we've talked through like wound of judgment was a big part of our conversation and talking about like criticism and how that comes up in our relationship and how we can just be better with that, both with ourselves and with each other. So yeah, so let's dive into like our in our marriage, like again, our conversation today is like how we've avoided this 7 year itch, like how
Yeah.
here we are, like very excited to be celebrating 7 years together. Um, so where would you say, what I would love to hear from your perspective, like, can you think of any like routines or like just things that we do that you felt have created like more of that closeness and connection for us?
Oh, I do think like we've taken on a routine like our no TV Tuesdays, which we tend to.
Perfect.
We're not perfect. We borderline it a lot, but taking a day where we don't go to TV as a thing, and we try to stay away from our phones. Just try to be with each other. Just try to have those connections on a one even the 1 day a week. To
Mhm.
where it's just the two of us. We talk about literally like everything that we can dive deep on, just to make sure that we are staying connected and we
Mhm.
are staying together with just even the little stuff that we got going on. It might be like work stuff. It might be, maybe things that you are thinking about in the future for work, or like something that might be going on that you're like, you know what, I think I might just make a change.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying so much on like a relationship sense, but it's just more like maybe I'm ready for like a something in my life. Maybe something like I've talked about like changing things in my diet,
Mhm.
or like I know we've both talked about working out in a trying to set up like a routine of that sense. But
Mhm.
and then I feel like another thing that we bounce around a little bit too much on, but it's like our money talks and
Mhm.
our
Mhm.
financial talks.
Mhm.
Just trying to at least set a day once a month. It's kind of been our thing, like
Mhm.
once a month, where we can at least talk about, hey, finances and expenses, and like what's the money situation looking like. Well, I feel like this year has been an entire change for us.
Mhm.
Um, because we decided to take on joining bank accounts.
Mhm.
I mean, that was something that neither of us have done
Mhm.
previously. So it was something that we decided to go at together, and has completely changed a lot.
Mhm.
And I think that this seventh year has really jumped, I think, more maturely for the two of us, and really been able to feel more confident and comfortable
Mhm.
financially, which is a huge thing. That's been kind of like a big downfall for us the last couple of years. And it's been revolving around money and the
Mhm.
comfort around money and what the two of us are going to have to do. Um, but really though, like we've had each other's backs
Mhm.
in the sense of it's my money, your money,
Mhm.
but also we were like, it's my money at the
Mhm.
same time. So that was the hardest thing that it really took for both of us to understand, that once we decided to do this,
Mhm.
it was a all-in situation. There is no, and we do keep ourselves like, okay, I might hold on to a little bit of money that comes in, because that way I know I can have a little money to play with myself or her, you know,
Mhm.
that way we're not fully like completely chained down on one bank account.
Yeah.
Um, but in that sense, though, we've really understood the how well we've been able to work together on this, and now that we're able to kind of see our future financially start dwindling away on things, and
Mhm.
how we can have everything covered, our lifestyles completely gotten more comfortable, and I feel like the two of us have been able to flourish a little more just with our work stuff and not have to worry about things weighing you down like that.
Hmm.
And I feel like it's been that way for you too.
Yeah.
You know, you haven't it's that was just such a thing for both of us that we were stressed on. But
Like we were both sitting in our own like shame
ugh,
and like
gross.
not good beliefs, like money beliefs. And I think both of us just like felt so scared to like open up to each other about that. Like I know I shared when previously asked like why you love me or like what you love the most about me, you would always speak to like my confidence. And in that time when we were going through the money struggles, like I felt so small. Like I felt like I didn't feel confident. I didn't feel like myself. I had my depression spouts like and I was so scared to like share that with you and like let myself be seen in that light because I'm like, well, if I'm not confident anymore in myself and that's the
Mm,
thing that he loves about me,
mm,
like what does that mean? What is
yeah.
that gonna look like? And so yeah, in those like harder days where we were going through our money stuff, it was like true like for me to be able to open up and like really like allow myself to be seen in that way it I feel like it helped me overcome a lot of like childhood trauma around money or just having to like be a high achiever be the best or be very independent
Mhm.
um but I think that just like speaks to us, like you mentioned, like job stuff or whether it be fitness stuff or like really any goals that we have. I think we do really well at like backing each other, having each other's back, supporting each other, but also like we'll be real with each other on it
There,
too,
it
right?
needs to be
Like
real.
it's like, is that the best idea? Like, is that going to be the best choice for you? Kind of posing some questions for each other, or like even just sharing curiosity, like, okay, like tell me more where you came up with this idea or like what
Yeah.
your thoughts are around it. But for both of us, I would say like major job changes have happened for me, especially in the past year. It was just like for a long time, I just felt like kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall, like, okay, where do I want to go next with this? What am I going to do next?
Right.
Um, and for you going where you try the real estate thing full time, that wasn't really the best for us as a family. And then, deciding to go back to work, like get another full-time job,
Yeah.
like that, I'm sure was a hard thing to swallow too. Like we don't have to like keep stay on the money thing, but I think just as you mentioned, like having space in our marriage to have the hard conversations, like I cannot stress that enough. Like so often you see couples that are just keeping things surface level. And again, like I get it. It's fucking scary to think about, okay, like if I share this hard thing, like how is this going to be perceived? How is this going to be perceived and received from my partner? Like are they going to run away? Are they going to hold a grudge against me? Is this going to cause an argument? Um and what we have found, I think both of us have been really working hard at being able to hold space and truly hear each other more. And again, we're not perfect. We still have our moments. Just recently, we had,
Mm-hmm.
a moment that we sit down, like we work through it.
Yeah.
And it's not always pretty, right? Like the fairy tale, thinking about like what marriage was gonna look like when I was just a little girl, like it's not the fairy tale that it was painted to be. This is hard work, and a lot of times people ask us like, what are you guys doing? Like, how are you making it work? Like, you guys are your goals, right? Like, you are the couple's goals. Like, I want like,
Yeah.
what do you got? Like, what are you doing that we're not doing? And I think it's like, yeah, like like we are willing to go there. We're willing to do it. Um, and trust that we're gonna come out on the other side like
Yes.
better, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's been the hardest, but the easiest to then almost paint the bigger picture.
Hmm. Hmm.
And again, like this has put us at year 7, and I would say that we really didn't start working on it until like year 5.
Hmm.
You know, it
Yeah.
was almost like a coast job
Yeah.
for the first 5 because it's felt like, we were a little younger, we had like a little bit more of that playfulness,
Hmm.
and not saying like we don't.
Hmm. Hmm.
There's still so much of it, but it's just the fact of like I felt like we coasted without ever really getting into shit,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like putting it so far behind us that we thought it was never going to be like, yeah, well, we're never going to end up fighting. We're never going to do that. We're
Hmm.
married now. And
Hmm.
no, I feel like the hardest stuff is the talks. and the, really digging deep
Hmm.
on,
Yeah.
the marriage, the relationship,
Yeah.
and yourself. A lot does come up to where you feel like everything's on you, but then
Hmm.
it's like, I'm here.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
here to help. I'm here to be a part of this no matter what, because that's our life,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's truly been such a difference that we've been taking the time and doing the work.
Hmm.
For people asking that question, like, how have you been doing it? It's
Hmm.
this.
Hmm.
It's truthfully this.
Yeah.
There's no way of looking back side. It's you got to look forward and you got to dig deep
Hmm.
and just make sure you're paving a clear path.
Hmm. Yeah, and like have that willingness to come to fruition with your own
Hmm.
truths, like your own shit, even when it's hard, like, and I think, yeah, I feel like we're like painting this picture like marriage sucks. Like marriage is
No,
so hard. Like you're gonna have all
no.
these like die hard conversations. But there is the other side of it. You mentioned like the laughter, the playfulness. We can get into like sex and intimacy as another category here. But really, I think like first and foremost, the communication, we preach this all the time. Like the communication is the most important part. Like having
Mhm.
that foundation in our marriage to be able to have those talks, like create that space for each other, that has been the biggest thing. And then creating ritual slash habit around it. We've been doing, as Danny said, the No TV Tuesday for quite some time. So as we would like to say we do that every week consistently. Sometimes it doesn't end up happening on Tuesdays, but sometimes we'll have
Yeah.
another night, but at minimum, we are at least weekly going through and having deeper conversations. Sometimes it's at night, right, like our pillow talk conversations when we're cuddling before falling asleep. And it's like there are times where I think we're going to bed and then it's like an hour later and we just had like
Yeah.
some really pretty deep conversations. It's like it just happens that way. Um, but I think again, like the playful and the laughter, like we still do a lot together. Like I think this is something we do well too. We both have our own individual things. Like you are not my everything. Like you are
Yeah.
not, you know what I mean? Like when couples are like, "Oh, he's my best friend. She's my best friend." Like I would say to that, like,
Hmm.
yes, and I have my community of girlfriends, right, that I'm able
Right.
to go to. And that's another piece of it, like having my community of girlfriends, you having your community of guy friends. When stuff comes up in our relationship, like we have other avenues and containers where we can sort of process those things and unpack those things to where at least I know I'm doing that. So it's like I'm processing them over here so that by the time when I come to bring the thing to you, like it's more buttoned up and I'm not just word vomiting it
Yeah.
on you.
That's fair.
And yeah, and I think again we each have our own individual activities. You bowl, you golf, you have like your guy activities. Like I don't need to be a part of all of those things. Like I want you to have your individual space for
Right.
guy time. And then
Yeah.
same, I have my book club, my
Your
bunko, all
bunko.
my all my old
Your
lady
old lady
activities.
clubs. Your old lady clubs.
Yeah,
They're
but
nice ladies though.
yes, they're very nice. They're very nice ladies. But yeah, this like, doing brunches and things like that. But again, we are also do really well at having consistent date nights too,
Hmm.
whether that be at home
Yeah.
or,
Where we
out of the
DoorDash
house.
and we indulge in food that we shouldn't eat,
Yes.
or go get ice cream.
Ah, yes. Love a good ice cream date.
Or when, I mean, I know we continue to say this, but we took the dogs for walks and then
Yes.
we said, yeah, I'll do it every day.
Yeah. That's so funny when we just say
Oh,
like things
I
like that
know.
and I'm just yeah. Um I think yeah, like getting into sex and intimacy, I think like this also plays a part in this too. It's like the heart, if you're avoiding regular things in your life, like sex is only going to be another part of that. So it's like if you're finding like, and again, we're not perfect. Like we get into our, I guess, ruts, if you will. But I think what is different for us, like while sex might not always be happening as much as we would like it to in terms of frequency, it's like our connection is something that still feels strong. So I mentioned like nighttime cuddling. Like one of my favorite parts of our marriage is that we go to bed at the same time together every night, mostly. Pretty much every night. Unless it's like a weekend and we got something going on or
Yeah.
whatnot. But pretty much we're
Yeah,
going together to
yeah.
to get bed together. And so that is literally my favorite part of the day is being able to unwind, be in bed together, like cuddling. We're spooners. We love to spoon, until Danny quickly falls asleep and
Until I
is
quickly fall
snoring in my
asleep.
ear. And I'm like,
It's
okay, I'm going to
it's
night
been
that.
pretty consistent lately. I I've been
But
crashing so fast.
we've been busy. It's been a busy last couple months, but yeah, like having that time to again just like unwind together. Sometimes it is just how was your day? Like let's reflect on the day. Sometimes
Yeah.
it is deeper conversation. But that moment of connection we're getting that every single day
Yes.
pretty consistently. I think another thing that we do well is in our greetings, like our hello, goodbyes, more so our hellos, like we're taking time. I've talked about this on the podcast, but having kisses last at least 6 seconds and
Hmm.
hugs lasting at least 30 seconds. So you're giving your body that time to produce that oxytocin hormone, which, by the way, is one of the hormones that happens in the beginning of the relationship. Um, so we're like making these little micro moments of intimacy. I think also too, before we put the rocking chair in our living room, we were really good at couch cuddling and like having more
I know.
time there, but that fucking rocking chair is
It's
just
it's a
it's so
it's
nice.
the recliner. The recliner gets you so good.
It's really
Yeah,
so I have a love-hate relationship with the recliner because it has instilled less cuddling for us in the living room. Um, but I think we make up for it in other ways.
right.
And deeper into sex and intimacy. Again, that is something in our relationship that we are continuing to have conversations about. I think I have an advantage here, like given the work that I do. I'm
Hmm.
constantly learning about new things, right? And I'm constantly having people on the podcast shining new lights on things. And I will often bring them to Danny, like, what do you think about that? Like, let's try this, let's talk about this. And I would say for us too, there's the maintenance sex and then there's this exploration. I think we do pretty good at being able to incorporate this exploration stuff too, like in our times that we spend upstairs here
Yeah.
in I just call it
Yeah.
our sex room, like those times, like again, it's not your maintenance level sex. It's not like your
Hmm.
surface level sex. It's like it's intentional,
It's
like
in
deep shit that we're doing in there.
yeah, it's intentional and it's more intimate than
Yeah.
it is like just getting in there and going at it.
Hmm.
It's very much more intentional of like being with each other and connecting our bodies, connecting type thing, and it becomes more comfortable and it just becomes more uh intense.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
guess that's probably the best word to use for me. Like it becomes more intense.
Yeah, and it's like the environment definitely plays a part in that. That's a room like dogs are not allowed in that room. It's just it's a vibe. The whole room is a vibe, like good energy in there. More sexual space, like nice, like fluffy waterproof blanket, like
Mm.
silk sheets, blackout curtains, like it's vibey in there.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, knowing like I am what I now know is like a highly sensitive person and somebody that experiences more responsive desire than spontaneous desire, having that setting is so helpful because it just creates that like warm, inviting environment for us. So when we go in there, it's like really every time, even the smell, like that room has a distinct smell. It's like every time I walk in there, I'm like, it literally takes me back. It's like that sage and aloe, the incense that we always burn.
It's the incense, yeah.
It's just like it's an ingrained scent
Yeah.
in my brain. It's like I think sexuality, I think sensuality, I think connection, like when I now smell that smell.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, why are you
I don't
laughing
know.
at
I don't
me?
know. It's nothing that like I'm like laughing what you said. I'm just on off in space a little bit.
Yeah. I think what would you say? Okay, so do you when we're initiating sex or like either whoever it is, um I think that I think that we do really good with like switching up our positions. Like
Mm-mm.
we're not like just missionary 99% of the time. Like
Lady on her back.
lady
Lady on her back.
lady on her side.
Lady. Well, am I?
I named that the other day.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
You did. Yeah, you did. No, we definitely like to change things up a little bit. Yeah, it's not very like bland,
Yeah.
you know,
And
just like straight missionary. That's no,
right.
I'm good.
Which we're not knocking anybody, right? We're not
No,
knocking anybody's young.
no,
That
it's
just
just not my
But I think
forte.
why I think that we have like good variety is because we're both open. Like if your leg is cramping or like you're not wanting to be doing
That's
a
fair.
lot of work, or if I'm like my vagina is really sore in this angle, or
Hmm.
like I came in this way, I need to flip over now. It's like
Yeah,
we are really good at
communicating.
again, yeah, I see it all fucking comes back to
Yeah.
communication. But I think also again, like it's communicating for one thing, but also like for you to be able to receive that when I'm sharing that and like vice versa, right?
Hmm.
If you're sharing that, like I'm not getting mad, you're not getting mad, you're not right up and like we're not having fights and we're
Okay.
really like hearing each other
Yeah.
in those experiences. And I think, we're both prioritizing our own pleasure as simultaneously like wanting each other also to experience as much pleasure.
That's a good way
So
to put it. Yeah.
yeah, it's like we can speak from ourselves, we can share with each other like what is feeling good or what we're desiring, what we're wanting in that moment,
Hmm.
and then like deliver that for each other, which is great.
Perfect. Yeah.
Are you getting uncomfy?
No, not at all.
No.
No, I'm fine. I was just listening and I kind of agree with everything you just
I'm
said.
just in a trance right now. Like that was so eloquently
That was
said.
very well said. It was.
Thank you. Thank you. I do this often.
Hmm.
Okay, looking at our questions. Um, let's see, where do we want to go? I feel
We
like we
kind of
like
touched
touched
on
on
these.
these. We had such a nice outline, and of course we went
We did.
rogue and still kind of
I
like
feel like
covered
we covered a little
everything.
bit of everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked, I mean, we talked about tough seasons, we talked about getting off track. We normalized like we're not perfect. Nobody is, but we're all working to try to be as perfect as we can in our relationship.
Yeah.
So, what's next? What's
What's
your vision for the next 7 years?
our vision? Are you just going to go straight to that one?
Yeah. Jump
Well,
in.
vision for the next 7 years. I mean, we've talked about what we want to do with a lifestyle, just on doing more traveling, and we're kind of working towards that now
Hmm.
of just being, you know, uh, I guess like my 7 years is like literally where can it take us? You
Hmm.
know, where can what we've done and what we continue to do, like where's it gonna take us? Is it gonna keep us here? Is it gonna move us somewhere else? Or, you know, it's just kind of more on like not so much of what we need to continue. I mean, we need to continue to do what we do,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think that's been the best thing for both of us is to just continue to do this and it's I feel like it's opened up so much in our relationship and for ourselves.
Hmm.
But then as like a whole, like I want to be kind of more on the move.
Hmm. Yeah.
So uh it's just going to be on more like my vision might not do a whole lot of changing for the two of us, but it may be like the scenery might be different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I think like desire to travel for sure. Yeah, and what you're kind of alluding to, like that possibly could look like moving for us. Who knows?
Who knows?
We talk, yeah, like we go back and forth on a lot of things
Yeah.
related to moving. I feel like mostly when like winter hits and I'm like, why do we live in so cold? But also, yeah, I think continuing, I truly feel like in my personal life, I had my numerology reading recently, and I know that like this for me is like my year one. For you, because I'm a year older, like your year one is going to be starting at January of this year. And I think that is really cool for us because it's like I truly felt like, again, like a chapter was closing all of last year, but it was like it felt like last year was like the light at the end of the tunnel. And this year it feels like again both individually and in relationship like it just feels truly like it's like the start of something new.
Mm,
Like I feel us, which the book that I alluded to is called The Inner Work of
mm,
Relationships, if anyone you want to check it out. We, yeah, like we started off our year doing that book and
yeah.
like just really doing some deep work there. Um, and so I think again, like that, yeah, that is like just creating if we're in this like year one again, um, it's like creating a really good foundation for us going into the next 7 years and infinity and beyond.
Gonna leave behind.
Um, and I think, yeah, like thinking through what we want to continue to prioritize, I think it's everything that we talked about in this podcast. I imagine in the 7 years, like we in the next 7 years, like we'll continue to experience things, like loss. We didn't even touch on this, but like we've had a lot of friendship transitions in the last couple of years. Some that have been much harder than others, some that right were blessings in disguise, like who knew. And we've also made new friendships in the last couple of
Hmm.
years and really like strengthen relationships as well. So I think that just continuing to show up for each other, continuing to do these hard conversations, hold space for each other, also celebrating our wins, like continuing to travel, continuing to have fun with each other, continuing to date each other, I think is also a big component of this.
Yeah.
Um, like and just yeah, growing. Sounds so good. Growing our love.
Growing. Blossoming flower.
Um, okay, let's offer some encouragement to couples that are feeling stuck or
Stuck or
disconnected.
disconnected.
Where do you think they should start?
Ooh, where should they start? Uh, by listening to this podcast.
They're already listening, so if they're okay, so if you're listening to this podcast and you feel like you're stuck, or feeling disconnected, I do. I think we've like stressed enough, like it comes down to the communication. So if you're feeling like, okay, I hear you, like we need to start communicating better, I think it has to be both people in the relationship are willing to go there and willing to take ownership, wanting to take accountability and truly hear each other, from that space of curiosity and compassion for one another. I do have, if you go to my website, rachelmain.com, go to the resources tab, I do have a communication guide on there, that we created that helps just, it's a different style and flow of communication. You've heard me mention a lot like space holding, that is like a big component of the communication guide that's on the website. When it comes to intimacy, I have a couple resources on that as well, a couple master classes that you could go through together. Specifically, my how to create the sex life you crave, I think is what that offer is called. And that takes you through an exercise called the want, will, won't list, where you and your couple, your partner rather, are going to go through this list and be able to check off things that you want to do, you will do, or you won't do. And there's a video attached to that of walking you through how to complete that with one another. But if you're specifically looking to kind of go deeper in the space of sexuality, I think that would be a really good place to start. And for anybody that was looking for individual stuff, I also have an offer called oh gosh, discovering your sex life. I name all these things like crazy things. Discovering your sex life, which is a my PDF of my sex timeline. If you're really looking to like dive into your sexuality and just understand yourself more sexually, and then you do get a one-on-one call with me for an hour, like a clarity call that we get to go and like dive in deeper to your sex timeline and kind of pull out the themes, figure out where you can maybe rewrite some stories or beliefs that you have around sex or sexuality that are most likely playing like a challenge and creating a block in your relationship from getting that closeness and connection that you're desiring so much. That was a lot of words. So
You really threw it out.
those are the things, rachelmain.com.
Yeah.
All right, let's end with our rapid fire like fun round segment.
Oh,
So
okay.
favorite date night.
Favorite date night.
Rapid fire.
I'm terrible at rapid fire. Uh, pass. Let me get back to it. I can't think of it right now.
Okay, favorite vacation.
Oh, Jamaica.
Okay,
Jamaica.
that's it. Just Jamaica.
Well, first, yeah, well, we only did one trip to Jamaica.
I know.
That probably was my favorite.
Like any elaboration on why?
Just I well, I think well, and also I think Jamaica was kind of like the beginning of like meeting all the out of town friends that
Mhm.
we still talk to. Some of them talk to,
Mhm.
but I think like just we were able to connect more on just like being like kind of starting up our adventurous things of like starting to travel and starting to
Mhm.
realize like how much we liked being those people.
Mhm. Mhm. And I
You
think like
know?
traveling again because we were like still were we still in our 20s? Maybe
Yeah.
like late 20s.
Yeah.
But we yeah, like
It was
that
before we got married.
we didn't like travel with friends. Like we took trips together and stuff, but like we never that was like our intro to like we started actually hanging out with other couples and like
Hmm.
traveling with couples and like partnerships and things like that. So
Yeah,
yeah, I would my answer would be the same. Jamaica, hands down, best
for sure.
vacation. Um, favorite date. I think my favorite date nights are in like here at home in our sex room. Oh, but I do love going to Red Wings games.
Red Wings games are fun.
Pretty much any sporting event.
Yeah,
I do love that.
for sure. I
And
do love me some. I do like when we get to go to the Red Wings games. They're really fun. Also, like date nights, like of like when we've like like got food to eat here, or like when we do bike rides or something like that, to where it's like
mm,
you like we just kind of be out in the elements
hmm
of just kind of like relaxing and being with
yeah.
each other. It's just it makes just the night a little easier, even though I it's like sometimes pulling teeth to get me out of the house to do stuff like that
Yeah.
because I just don't know why I don't want to do it sometimes.
Well, it's
But
different. You work out of the house, so
correct.
you're out. You're out
Yes.
living life, and I work in the house.
Yeah.
So usually, like by the time you get home, I'm like I'm ready. Like I need like I want to get out. I want to do. And
Yes.
we jokingly always say like we suck at living on the lake because we don't do
We don't
like
do
lake life
half the
things.
shit for the lake.
Like, um, and yeah, okay. So I can share. You got me a like a hammock for
I
an
did.
anniversary.
You just got to.
I just got to open it right before we recorded this, and I think that is going to be like fun
Oh, for sure.
for us to do,
Yeah.
especially on No TV Tuesdays. Because
Hmm.
we our goal this year is well, my goal this year is I want to be outside more. I will be outside more.
Become
I
one with
will be
nature.
one with nature. It's going to be great, and yeah, that's that. Biggest turn on?
Ooh, biggest turn on, seeing you naked.
Oh, that was easy.
Well,
Oh,
sorry.
so so simple for the male brain.
Yeah, sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah, I know. I feel very fortunate. My biggest turn on, hmm. I mean, dare I say vulva massages? Is that's
Well,
like
I
that
mean
that
but
does
also
it.
that's like I'm already doing something though.
I know, but I'm generally not turned on when they start.
Well,
That's like that's our bridging activity of like
yeah.
you're coming in hot. I'm like,
Yep,
I'm not right
you're
there
not there.
yet.
You're not
And
there.
but if you rub on me, we'll get there. So I would say that's biggest emotional and physical turn on for me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Do we last one is most used inside joke. Do we have a most used inside joke?
Lately, it's been ladies in the
Yeah.
back.
For any Office fans out there,
Yes. It's
you
a
will
Dwight.
understand Lady on her back.
Yeah, it's all based on The Office, which I just watch
Yeah,
religiously.
we love The Office around
Yeah,
here. All right. Is that a wrap?
I believe so.
Cool.
We are great at this.
We're so good. We're such good podcasters. If yeah, I mean, real talk though, if people are feeling like you're struggling in, you're experiencing the 7-year itch or something similar to it, or again, just feeling like that stuckness in the relationship, that's what I do. That's literally what I do for a living, sex and relationship, coaching, therapy, education, all the things. So reach out, you know how to find me if you're listening to the show. People love when you're on the show, so I imagine I'll get a lot of
Yeah.
messages. Yes, people like episodes with you are like generally more my top
Let's go.
listened episodes. Yeah,
Well,
I know.
I'm glad I can help.
Yeah, thank you. I know.
And yeah, we can I mean is there like a 14-year itch? Because I don't think so, right? Another 7 years?
I know. I don't know.
I mean, that's a long ways
To be
away.
determined.
Yeah, but I'm sure I'll be on before that.
I would I would hope so. Yeah, thank you
It's
so
so
much. Thank you for listening to the show. Again, yeah, let us know. Let us know if you listen. Say hi. Let us know if
absolutely.
you need anything. And we need to go to bed
Yes.
because we have a flight in the morning. So good night. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to today's show. If you loved it, be sure to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And if you really fucking loved it, make sure to tag me on social media at the Rachel Main. I'll see you next week.